Hello and welcome to today's content, which will be on basically the Frontlines number 17 update as well as the update number 14. So we'll be just talking about all the stuff that's going to be coming up, and yeah, I will say the update number 14 has not been fully announced, which I fully expect to be like Final Fantasy 15, like the Engine Blade and the I forgot the Dragoon Spear's name for Aranea. That stuff is probably what's going to be coming out, which will not be included in this video. This is mostly going to be talking about Frontlines number 17, the guild raids, and just what's going to be coming in the next few weeks that we have. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well with the Aigayan raid. That was actually pretty tough, and I will say, sadly, looking at the future raids outside of the Holy Flan raid, whenever we get that, a lot of the raids are actually going to be getting harder. And what I mean by that is that bosses are going to start getting around like 50 to 60 defense / spirit depending on the boss. So yeah, it shows that because they know how tough, how much better EX units are in general, that they're going to be pushing raids to be more difficult. Anyways, outside of that, without further ado, let's begin. Anyways, first things first, for the update, we will be getting the Shardilis, which is basically, it's going to lower the amount of time you need to acquire unit shards. And it's going to be kind of used the same way how you're going to be replenishing your energy in general, and like your provisions in your guild barracks, as you can see from the instructions here. Specifically what you can buy, which I don't know if it's going to be specifically Gil or Vizior. I would assume it's Gil if it's only for green and blue, but yeah. Green and blue, specifically, you can buy those in the provisions warehouse. As you can see on the right side for the list, theoretically speaking, you do want yellow, mostly. Purple is not bad either, but blue and green they're not bad, but they're not going to make any huge differences. Purple specifically and yellow are definitely going to make huge differences in that regard. But yeah, as you can see, the usage limit, as you can tell, it's gonna be once per day. We'll have to see if this is gonna like include it for the entire duration, even though the added provisions, or will it be only for like that amount of provisions. Like, so pretend if you have like 50k provisions and you use a Shardilis green, I'm not 100% sure if that's gonna be 1 hour like reduced for the entire time of the 50k provisions, or if it's only going to be for that 1k additional that was added to the 50k. So yeah, I'm not 100% entirely sure, but all we know is that it will be reducing time for shards in general, so we'll have to see. And in my opinion, the most important thing coming out next week, or literally after tonight's maintenance, I should say next reset week. So yeah, after the reset this week, now I'm confusing myself. Anyways, you guys know what I mean. The November 17th, which is tomorrow. Yeah, we will have the guild right now active, and I'm really glad we were getting this much earlier. But I will also say it's a little worrying because this is like 2 to 3 months earlier than expected. But yeah, basically guild raid is gonna be a place where you're gonna have like a rotation of guild bosses, or like raid guild bosses, and then you're gonna be taking them down, and you get points, you get like rewards, all that. And yeah, that's really interesting. I really hope people are gonna be enjoying this. This is basically limited guild war, but instead of guild war, it's like guild raid, so that you're basically competing with other guilds to like go for a high score. It's kind of like Trials of Awakening, but a little bit different in this scenario. You're working with your guildmates literally almost directly, not using their units specifically, but working together to basically take down a boss. But yeah, as you can see here for the guild raid, there is going to be 5 bosses. I'm not 100% sure if we're getting a literally copy paste of what Japan got it, but if we did, the 5 bosses that we will be getting on the first go around, if it's the same as the JP servers, should be Glacial, Kraken, Ifrit, Diablos, and Ramu. And it should be that. But as you can see, when you keep defeating the bosses, they will have a higher level of difficulty. It's going to be between level 1 and 10. And I will say, these bosses are not going to be as easy as you think. I believe at level 10, Ramu has close to 6 million HP or something. But yeah, you're literally going to be working with your guild to try and reduce that HP as much as possible. I think it's going to be pretty fun and interesting, but well, we'll eventually have to see. You're going to be getting points based on attacking on bosses, damage dealt, and racking up points basically on raid bosses. So yeah, it's literally gonna be kind of like Trials of Reckoning in a way, and I mean, we'll have to see the full results of that. I'm pretty sure we get some nice rewards too. So yeah, we'll get to the next slide. As you can see here, we have still even more information for guild raids, because that's just how big of a deal it's going to be, and especially with the introduction of it. As you can see, the last attack is rewarded to the guild member who first succeeds in defeating the raid boss regardless of the amount of damage dealt. So in this situation, if a boss had like 1 HP left and someone just happened to fail because they either ran out of like turn order, or they just all their members died, the next person who hits it will get the last attack rewarded to them. This is not literally like giving any real big benefits. It's just basically finishing the boss, and this person is basically who finished the boss off, and that's what's going to be happening. And they have an example right there, as you can see. Additionally, when you do clear a boss, if you're the one that lands the last hit on the boss, you can go again with your same party. What I mean by that is, if you did a guild raid like boss and then your team is wiped out, you cannot use that same party or the members for that day. You have to wait until next reset. And I believe there's 3 daily attempts every day. So yeah, wait, that's kind of like reiterating myself, but yeah, 3 daily attempts total. So you really got to be working with your team to kind of like rotate who's going to be attacking, etc. all that. I'll say for certain that I'm definitely going to be weak on the fire and earth elements, specifically for Ramu and Glacial. However, I am pretty confident in my light, lightning, and water team. In that example, like, so if it was in those bosses in the rotation, I'm not sure if you can like select each boss specifically, or you just have to kill whatever you can, and then once all 5 are dead, like it resets to higher difficulty. I'm not sure. We'll have to see eventually. This is literally like kind of new. And I didn't exactly play JP. I just looked at what information they have and all that, but we'll have to see. But yeah, it's gonna be really exciting, I think, especially because it's adding like a new game mode to the game just in general, which is very nice to see. So here are some of the sample rewards stuff that you can get from the guild raids. I know there's like some weird typo, but this is literally directly from their website for information, so it's kind of weird. You defeat a if raid boss. Anyways, most importantly is that the guild medals is gonna be usable in the limited guild medal shop, which is gonna have some like nice things. And before we get to the guild raid titles, let's go to the guild ranking rewards. So outside of the limited guild medal shop, specifically for ranking rewards, you will be getting Visior, you will be getting titles, and you will be getting guild medals. In that case, during the period that the limited guild raid is gonna be up, there will be a limited guild raid shop, as you can see, for November 17th until December 14th. And during that, as you can see, there are some nice stuff you can buy. Shardilis, purple, and yellows. Remember what we said? You really want yellows. Purples are not bad at all either. Blossoms of Paradise, which are very nice for just units in general that you're going to be trying to EX. And then there's going to be the rainbow like situation and stuff there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a very nice shop to be spending your guild medals in. From here, especially for the people who want to really try hard the guild medals and stuff, well, not the guild medals, the guild raid specifically, especially for your guild if you kind of want like a prestigious title, is what we're going to be having. So the number 1 guild for ranking is going to get Masters of the Hunt for their guild, which is pretty cool in my opinion. After that, the top 10 is going to be Omni Hunters. Omni Hunters sounds kind of weird. I mean, I guess it'd be kind of cool. And then lastly, it's going to be Boss Hunters, which is going to be a top 50. This means only the top 50 guilds will be getting a title. Everyone else is kind of just going to be getting the rewards and no like titles in general from outside of like maybe the generic ones that like most people get just from participating. We're not sure. But yeah, overall, I think the titles, the number 1 and number 1 and then top 50 is pretty cool in my opinion. This is going to be pretty competitive for people who really want to go into player versus environment PvE stuff, since some players that, as you can see, like don't like PvP, even though this game is mostly geared towards PvP. However, Guild Raid does open up, same with Trials of Reckoning as well, opens up a lot of opportunity for PvE players to kind of like use their units and get a lot more play out of their units. So overall, this is going to be like the end of the Guild Raid information, but I hope it's like enough to kind of like get you interested, or just like can't wait to see it and like kind of test it out. It's going to be pretty cool. Anyways, we're going to be moving on now. So we will be getting the new unit, Pharm. Well, not getting it, but she will be released. As you can see, there is the login bonus reward that we're going to be getting. Also, during this, we're going to get the Chocobo Expedition EXP and Guild Up, double time. Same with Arena, it's going to be double medals. And then there will be a double book event, which is very nice, especially if you need books. During the period of November 17th until November 23rd. So literally only like a week about, which is I guess they really want us to farm like really like hard. I will say specifically for Final Fantasy 15 collaboration, we will be getting a sword specifically, which is gonna be for Noctis and or anyone else you want to use for slash resistance penetration. 2, we will be getting a pistol, I believe, like, or a gun, which is specifically for Prompto. However, Lara Croft guns are not bad, so it's not as important. I will say Engine Blade is extremely important for people who want to do kind of hybrid builds and or like flexibility builds. It's gonna be a very good weapon. And thirdly, we will be getting a new spear, which is like specifically kind of towards Aranea. I will say, if you have the Icehorn, like Drake Icehorn spear for Aranea, that is actually stronger in general compared to her own Final Fantasy 15 spear. However, if you do not have any spears of any kind, this spear is a definitely good pickup. So yeah, in terms of priority, I will say getting sword books if you need them, specifically because you're out, would be more important. And then specifically it will be the spear books and then gun book. The reason why the gun book is not as important in my opinion is we just had Lara Croft event, we just had the Ras Algethi, as well as in the next slide we do have another Ras Algethi event. So in my opinion, yeah, that's if you like are very like close on time, I will in my opinion farm sword books if you need them, and then spear books if you need them, and then gun books in that regard, and then anything else you need just in terms of getting ready for Final Fantasy 15. So here we are, as I said on the next slide, the equipment trading quest during November 17th until the 23rd, which is right before the Final Fantasy 15 event. We will be having available to us the Healing Mace, Ras Algethi, and Sasuke's Katana, which is kind of important, especially for people who just want to like use ninjas in general. They are very good like stuff like to have, especially if you don't have it. Like Healing Mace, I know a lot of people would rather have Platinum Mace. However, Healing Mace is not bad. It even has like a cure spell on it. It probably doesn't heal that much though, like compared to like people who have like healing power up, all that. But anyways, it's still weapons available that if you needed a weapon for these categories, they are very good. Also, I know it's kind of weird, Sasuke's Katana is not actually a katana. It is literally a ninja blade, and yeah, it's just gonna be like that. This is gonna this is on a different page for Frontlines, which is just showing what guild raids is gonna be coming out. So it is gonna be new content, as you can see here. The guild raid button, as you can see, is added. It's gonna be right. If you look at the bottom picture, it's gonna be on the right side, so it's gonna be guild raids. The left of it, the button left of it, is gonna be guild war or like guild battle, which is what we're doing right now for limited guild war as well as future guild war. So yeah, just keep in mind there will be 2 buttons there now for specifically guild war and then guild raid in that like separation. And yeah, this is additionally with this update we'll be getting is that hard quests are now going to be available, where you can just skip a bunch of them. Like you skip all 10 if you wanted, instead of doing like 2 by 2 by 2 for the hard quest, just in general. So it's going to be very nice. Additionally, for the chat windows, for people who like chatting in game, there's going to be new stickers and stuff, and I'll be showing all these like visually on the next slide. And here we are. So yeah, basically vision card hard quest, as you can see here, you can literally edit your bookmarks, and then you could literally just switch the display and then just skip all of them that you have checked at once. So yeah, it's gonna be very nice for that, especially because sometimes it gets kind of annoying, especially with the raid pop-up. You do 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 if you want to be efficient, and it's gonna be like, oh, raid popped up, take like literally 5 to 10 seconds every situation. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of annoying. And then there's also stat champs, as I said before, you can put stickers and stuff in the chat, especially if you like chatting in game. This is going to be very nice for people to kind of express themselves even more. And a very nice thing, but kind of ironic, at the end of iGuy Raid, we are now going to have it so you could turn off the animation for auto repeat when you have a raid popping up. So you don't have to always like, oh, iGuy showed up, like you encountered it, it's gonna go to that menu. You're gonna have to either press like go next or later, or like go now or go later. That's not gonna happen anymore if you turn the animation off, which is, it's a blessing. Thank you very much. And from here, it looks like they adjusted some wording for killer/eater effect descriptions, because it's kind of not consistent enough to kind of like keep changing the wording. I don't know if this is like a translation issue or something that they had, but yeah, I mean, better wording would be very like helpful. There are AI adjustments that specifically it looks like for jumping and casting, so that if your character is like in a jump animation and someone else is casting under them, and they might hit collateral on the enemy that is jumping, as you can see here, it says AI that will be casting abilities. Other abilities in the allies in the area that are in the middle of a jump will not be like affected by it after they land. So like if you land and then the magic spell goes off and it hits even your teammate, it's not gonna happen anymore, is what it's saying. That's just how we have to see it. For UI revisions, as we knew from the last Frontlines or update video I did, they did say that they're gonna have a batch enhancements for EX job ability boards, and thank goodness. This is gonna be very nice to like kind of quickly level up at EX instead of just like Vision Hard Quest one by one. Now we can do all in one batch go, which is very nice to see. So in terms of feature updates, they didn't actually add too much. They only give us 2 little like snippets of what they're going to be adding. There's going to be an addition of a max selection button and a batch max button to the batch purchase exchange screen, which is very nice if you're someone that likes to farm a lot of metals or currency and just need to buy a whole bunch of things in batch instantly, like with the metals. This will be very, very helpful. In terms of UI adjustments, it looks like there's going to be ability boards between Esper training boards overall. So like you can just switch Espers very quickly, which is kind of weird, but I mean, okay. But yeah, I'm hoping they add more quality life as we keep going on. Only seeing 2 things added for future updates means I don't know if they're okay with everything now and everyone else is just kind of accepting how it is, or if there's more things they could be adding. But yeah, this is what they have announced in store for us for possibly the next big update, which will probably be December, technically speaking, or maybe even January. It would depend, especially on if they have like a Halloween, like a new, I mean not Halloween, sorry, a new like Christmas unit, or if they have like a new collaboration coming in, or like the return of Final Fantasy 14 because of Endwalker. We don't know, we'll have to see. But yeah, this is going to be the end of the future updates situation and information mostly for the announcements in general. And on the next slides, we'll probably be talking about Pharm specifically as a unit, and then Final Fantasy 15 before ending it. And here we are at Pharm. I know I said that like I'm not gonna be making as many videos for specifically vision cards and stuff, and I'm gonna be much busier in real life because I've been taking a lot of like courses and classes so I can kind of do better for a career job. However, despite that, I will still be doing unit reviews because I still enjoy doing that, and plus since Pharm is coming out and I do have to make her unit video and probably release it by Wednesday or Thursday, I will be doing a short little brief window of her here. Also, because Final Fantasy 15 is so close, I have a feeling that literally a majority of players are not going to pick up Pharm, which is kind of sad because of how good she could be. But yeah, here it is. Overall, these are her resistances: -5% slash, which is not too good, -10% to pierce, 10% to strike, 10% to missile, and 15% to magic. So as an evasion unit, she actually has decent magic attack resistance. It's nothing crazy, but she does have it. She has 15% defense penetration as a unit, but her Dream Within a Dream, the 3-hit ability that ninjas have, the EX upgrade increases it from 90% to 121%, so it hits a little bit harder, and it lowers defense and spirit by 30 for 3 turns. This additionally can also take out barriers if they are hit based, so if they only need 3 hits, then this can take it out quite like quickly. Her EX Shuriken like change or ability buff is gonna have it so the Shuriken now removes re-raise and Immortal Spirit and reduces accuracy by 30. So if you're getting like really annoyed by all these Engelbert like cheese shenanigans, or like even like Zazan, even if on like longer maps, Pharm can actually is capable of kind of like making their cheese like kind of just disappear. So she does have access to that. She also has access to reflex, meaning she can be super annoying and dodge everything if possible. Unless you have reaction rate down, she will be dodging a lot of things. Sharpshoot is also available on her ranger sub-job, so she does have a 100% hit rate against other evasion units. Her limit break lowers water resistance by 25% and it has a high chance of paralysis. I do believe the base chance is 67%, which is pretty nice. I will say the water resistance only down by 25% is not 38%. However, because it does have an additional effect of paralysis, I mean, it's understandable. She actually has very high evasion. It's relevant to Elena and Zazan. I think at her full potential, like with vision card setup and all that, she has a little bit higher evasion than Elena, and it's almost the exact same as Zazan's at her full potential. So yes, she is an extremely evade heavy unit. She does very well on offense teams, especially when you know what you're trying to hit. And what I mean by that is that you're not gonna just bring her into a random team comp and be like, oh yeah, she's gonna lower their defense and she's gonna do some damage. She's gonna remove their re-raise and mortal spirit. Let's think about the situation such as like, what if they don't have any immortal spirit or re-raise, but they have protect and shell or something like that? She's not going to be doing like much damage to that. She can't even set up properly against that type of situation. However, especially kind of like in limited guild war right now, if you're facing a lot of Engelberts that are like, oh, they got Ryu, like Halloween Ryu TMR for the re-raise, he's using his immortal spirit thing, that's so annoying, I don't have any other tools to do it. Pharm can take care of that actually, because she can literally just take it out. Like she can just remove re-raise, she can remove immortal spirit, just like that, poof. Now let's talk about some negatives just in case, because you can't only talk about positive. It's not really fair. It's kind of like overselling the unit, but yeah. So first off, her damage is going to be subpar without her dream within a dream setup, and her abilities are lacking high damage modifiers. Her highest damage modifiers is going to be either it was supercharge or mega charge from her ranger subjob, which is 185%. Her next hardest hitting ability is going to be, I believe, on the Samurai subjob, which is Oborozuki, which is still a good ability. However, 175% is not 200%. Additionally, all her main job abilities are all going to be very weak in terms of modifiers, so she really is a setup unit. She can deal decent damage with like sharpshoot and all those abilities. However, she really has to worry about very like super beefy team compositions or compositions that have a lot of sustain. So like example, if you were going against an Engelbert and then you did use the Shuriken to remove his re-raise and immortal spirit, he still has hate on himself. And maybe you have a really good water team to set up to deal significant damage to Engelbert. However, if he does survive and like a Yuna or a Fina is like healing him, Pharm does not really have the firepower to take him out. Like she's gonna be hitting like a wet noodle, even with Dream Within and Dream, specifically against Engelbert. So you do have to watch out for that. She's also very squishy and must rely on her evasion, or she'll probably die instantly to cloud or hard hitters without evasion or proper setup. I know she has 15% magic attack resistance, and she does have an ability as her EX to like increase her magic attack resistance even higher. However, if she is to go against a Helena who has Cypress Pile and has a lot of magic damage, and Pharm does not overstack her magic resistances, she can still die in one shot. So you really do have to like watch out for like hard hitters in general. She has to kind of evade hits so she survives. Her defense and spirit debuff resist, like if tanks that can debuff and spirit debuff resist, it's gonna significantly reduce Pharm's like efficiency, because Dream Within and Dream is not gonna do anything to them because they can't lower the defense. For example, Charlotte does have a setup that she can get 100% defense and spirit reduction. Resist? I know, like, why would you use Pharm against Charlotte? It's just given an example, which is also why on the offense side I say Pharm is very good on offense teams if you know what you're hitting. However, if Pharm is on a defense team and someone has a tank that's relevant against Pharm, they'll easily just go against her, and then Pharm's just gonna kind of just run around, do her utility stuff, and not make a big impact. So you really do have to kind of watch out on what units are gonna be coming out, and or if they have like counters and such. In June, because she's the next, I believe, 100 cost unit that should be coming out soon, I believe. In June's situation, every time she gets hit, her defense increases, which is kind of gonna make Dream Within and Dream a little bit weaker. Additionally, however, Dream also has Protect and Shell, something Pharm cannot get around. So that is gonna be something that Pharm has to consider if she's gonna be facing Dream specifically. Single target resistance is going to be extremely strong against Pharm, and as I said earlier, Protect and Shell is extremely effective against Pharm because she does not have anything hard hitting, and she does not have anything that removes Protect and Shell. At least right now, she does not have anything. So yeah, she doesn't have the proper tools to fight against the proper defensive setup that is like really like pushing for defensive setup. And I'm not going to say Engelbert's setup is defensive because he is really just like cheese. Like, it's really just cheese. It's Mortal Spirit and like re-raise cheese, and yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. But yeah, that's why in terms of Pharm's situation, she does not have any good AoE abilities. They don't even hit that hard either, outside of like Oborozuki, and then she has almost all of her abilities are going to be single target, outside of like stuff like her Limit Break as well. So you do have to worry about single target resistance tanks and units in general. So this even includes Oberon, because Oberon has really good single target resistance and he can easily stack it at 30% with like very little effort. you do have to worry about single target resistance. Now, units with hate will still draw Pharm's attention of attacks, so tanks with cheese, even Engelbert, while she can remove Re-Raise and Mortal Spirit, the tank will still have hate on. So because she does not have a dispel specifically as our unit by herself, she needs someone else to do it. Even if you remove a unit's like setup and kit, unless like there's a tank that can easily just mess up the AI, she will be in a bad spot. So you do have to consider that. Overall, this is just a quick like overview of Pharm. If you like maybe decided wanted to get her before Final Fantasy 15 or not, or if you want to skip her and you kind of want a more justification, here's some stuff maybe to kind of help you. And here we are at the very last slide. Final Fantasy 15 is confirmed to be coming out as we kind of expected from my prediction video that we did a while ago. Is the first 2 units are going to be Noctis and Prompto, specifically in JP, as well as maybe even for us. They said there's going to be more like information stuff as we get closer to the week. That Prompto was free for Japan, and I expect it will be the same for us. So realistically, it'll be a nice pickup, especially for dark teams overall if you want like elemental mastery. Me personally, I'm gonna pick up Noctis 100% for sure, just because of how fun and flexible he is as a unit. I wanted to pick up Aranea because she is so good at what she can do. She has 100% hit like strike ability that hits decently hard. She has very strong pierce attacks. She has a very good kit. However, I have a horrible ice setup for her, and I have very horrible ice vision cards for her, so I'm probably gonna skip her and I'm gonna be really sad about it. However, I mean, anyone else who has a good ice setup, I hope you have a really good time using her because she's a very good check. Like, she can check a lot of units as long as they're not 1 fire or 2 super resistant to pierce and strike at the same time. Outside of that, I do believe Aranea is really strong just as a unit overall. I would put her almost on the same tier of what I'm going to be rating Noctis in terms of flexibility and usability as a unit. Which, kind of spoiler wise, I will probably rate them close to a 4.5, or they're not going to be 5s obviously, but it'll be very close. It'll be a 4.5 out of 5, especially as a 90 cost unit. I know they're not 100 cost units, however, they have very strong usages in what they can do. And yeah, event duration, as you can see, when it comes out for us, specifically for Final Fantasy 15, it's going to be on November 24th until December 28th. And as you can expect, we'll probably have like a winter like event happening either at the end of it or during like the very end of it, during like December. We'll have to see. Overall, we come to the end of the video. As always, if you like this quick little update video, hopefully it's quick. It's probably not, but I'm just saying that. Please leave a like and or subscribe or comment, and yeah, hope to see you guys in the game. And I'm really excited for Guild Raid, which is going to be after maintenance, as well as kind of ready for Final Fantasy 15 as well. So I really want to pick up Noctis as a unit. But yeah, at the end of the day, peace out guys, until next video.